Alright, today we're going to look at what you did from day 1. So the two matrices below give the information for the number of items sold at the store. What's the total? When we talk about total, we're going to be adding the number of pens. So we're only looking at pens sold for November and December. So I'm looking for the pens in November. I'm looking at the pens in December. So 4 plus 8 plus 2 gives me 14 pens in November. 6 plus 3 plus 1 gives me 10 in December, which is 24. How many black markers were sold in November and December? For this one, I am only looking for black markers. So in November, that is 7 in black markers. So in December, that is 5. Altogether, that gives me 12. In the last one, I'm looking how many more blue markers were sold in December than in November. So blue markers in December is 4. And in November, 1. So how many more is that? It's 3 more. Create a matrix for the total pens and markers sold in November and December. So when I look for total, remember I'm going to be adding these. So you're just really adding these two matrices. And what do I get? I have red pens, or red, black, and blue. I have pens and I have markers. So 4 plus 6, those numbers are in the same spots. 8 plus 3, 11. 2 plus 1 gives me 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 7 plus 5, 12, and 1 plus 4 is 5. I'm going to come over here. A store sells t-shirts. The matrices below show the number of t-shirts in the store on November 1 and December 1. November and December. If the store did not add any additional t-shirts between November and December, what size t-shirt sold the most? So this is how many you have at the November 1st, and this is how many you have on December 1st. So I started with 100 and we're looking at t-shirts. So I'm going to add these. This gives me 310. This gives me 420, and this gives me 380. This gives me 280 because I'm looking at total shirts. This gives me 330, and this gives me 310. So in November I started out with 310 small shirts, and now I only have 280 small shirts. So that means that for small you sold 30. For medium you started with 420. Now you only have, that should be 330. So then we subtract them. That means that I sold 90. And then I look at my large shirts. I had 380. Now I only have 310. So that means I sold 70. So which one sold the most? Large. Which store, if the store did not add any additional t-shirts between November and December, which t-shirt sold the least? Least, remember, is like the smallest. So which one was the smallest? can go back up here. And so my answer here is small. If the number of t-shirts in the store on January 1st is 5% more than December 1st, how many t-shirts will there be on January 1st? So what I'm going to do here is 5% is like 5 over 100. So that gives me 0.05. So this is going to be January. And I will have small, mediums, and larges. I will have black. And I will have white. So in November I had 150 shirts. I multiply that by 0.05 and that gives me 7.5. Then I do 150 plus 7.5 and that gives me 157.5. So what's the new number? 157.5. Then I go to the next one, the 200. So 200 times 0.05 equals 10, and 200 plus 10 equals 210. So 210 goes right there. And I would continue to do the multiply by 0.5, get an answer, and then add it to the original. So then this one would be 189. This one is going to be 168. This one would be 231. And this one would be 210.